It's Manchu. I'm back for more Horizon Forbidden West. Well, I've left San Francisco and I'm heading east toward the base, but there's a few stops I want to make along the way, some things to do before I get there. Hopefully I will get to the base today. The first thing I want to try is this pit fight here. I try and take on the Pitmaster. This is the third one that I haven't been able to accomplish yet. I have tried it and failed. Let's see if I can succeed at it now, where I failed before.
Here to train in the pit? I put together something new you might find interesting. This is your shot! Take it! That's it, you're done. 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 That's it, you're done.
I almost got him down, but can I finish him?
That's it, you're done.
Oh, close, so close.
That's it, you're done. That's it, you're done. That's it, you're done.
What? What? I had him! I freaking had him.
Come here! That was a good set of attacks. You can.
Dodge, dodge, dodge. Oh, come on!
That was a good. Let's put up.
Dodge, dodge, dodge! What? Oh my god, did I do it?
Well fought in there. You really know how to knock someone out. Here, this mark is yours.
Thanks. That makes 3.
Then I think it's time for you to face the Enduring.
Will you tell me who they are now?
You'll see soon enough. Go to the mountains north of the Desert Clan's territory. The Enduring awaits where the ruins of Metal Wings rise from the mountain. Good luck. And if you're looking for more practice, this pit remains open to you. I know I'd gladly accept a rematch.
I'll be off.
Until our blades cross in the pit again, then.
That was challenging.
Honor and strength.
I still don't think I'm all that good at the combos, and I haven't mastered melee, but I've managed to beat him. Eventually.
The projections give you a safe window of 36 minutes.
To let 200 people onto this plane?
250. They're their only way out of there before the swarm hits.
Then you'd better tell them to be ready. And you better be right about that 36 minutes.
They went to save people and didn't make it.
And Tala, I think I have the rest of the recordings for you.
Are you the only one listening to these voices? Oh, no. The others who captured the Oseram Delver heard the voices from these ancient warriors too. They spread the word, and now a lot of people are talking about them. Soldiers are interested in old battles.
Well, I have, I think, the rest of them.
I have more voices for you to preserve. You honor the fallen.
The only thing she actually sells that I might be interested in is stuff that she's sold out of. I guess I'll take this. Sold out of that too. Well, this is all that's left. I'll buy one of these. That should be all of the black boxes, I think.
That's the last of the voices I can detect. You found them all. I was worried that the Delvers would have looted them before they could be recovered. The voices of these ancient soldiers deserve to be held in honor, not sold as entertainment. I will make sure everyone who comes to listen knows that it was you who saved them for us. From one recording to all these, now I have the chance to learn so much about this forgotten war. Thank you. It will make me a better soldier, a better Tenakth.
Come on. The arena match with the Frostball.
Obtained Wings of the Ten. What? What's that? Oh, this is that. Wings of the Ten. It's a blast sling. A legendary blast sling. It is powerful, but I think I'd prefer the blast slings that do elemental damage, not blast damage. And adhesive is not what I have in mind. That threw me off because Wings of the Ten is also a quest. One that I need to do to make available a bunch of other quests. But that's not what that was.
If you've got medals, you're worthy of our gear, champion. What can I do for you, Aloy?
Let's see what you got for sale. Oh, do I have tags to trade in?
I found more soldiers' tags.
I guess I did.
Thank you, Aloy. I know the families of the fallen will appreciate this. You must have cleared every outpost in the wilds.
I think I did.
If I were Regala, I'd be worried. More importantly, our dead can now be bagged and tagged properly thanks to you. May the Ten be with them. Here, these belong to one of the fallen. He left no family behind, but I know he'd be honored to have a true soldier have them.
Thank you. I'll take good care of them.
Like Fashav, I find myself preferring to be remembered as a person of peace.
Well, I guess I should go.
Safe travels.
Face off against machines and prove your worth to the clan.
Almost ready to go?
Alright, back in Hidden Ember.
Yeah!
I have the last of those artifacts.
And 3 flags for our Jacksonville Bravo.
And the one in San Francisco is hard to get, I'll tell you what.
Good to see you again, Aloy. Hearts have been all aflutter around here. And I don't just mean the lights.
Oh, something in the air.
Any luck finding more ornaments?
Yep.
Here you go.
So, what'll it be?
Let's try the last one, the one I just found.
Let's go with this one.
I'll get right to it. Fireworks like Moreland's. And all that other stuff floating around. Is that snow?
Don't think so.
Dust?
No.
Hail?
I think it's just sparkles.
Oh. Interesting. Oh, and before I forget, help yourself to the contents of that chest over there. For our heroine who dared the challenges of the West, recovering lives long lost, deserving riches and rewards.
When you say that chest over there,
I'm not quite sure
Oh,
I'll
over
live up
here.
to all that, but thanks.
Ancestors return.
You are a keeper, ain't you?
I think that's a shredder gauntlet. It is a legendary shredder gauntlet. If I was into those, I'm still not very sure about shredder gauntlets. I've heard they can be really super effective if you know how to use them. I don't know how to use them.
Cheers.
But it's another legendary tool. And back at last. Now that I'm back, we can make our preparations for the final task at hand. Let's just make sure there aren't any upgrades or anything I need to do right now.
Forget it.
Fireclaw. Slitherfang. Stalker. Not the Dreadwing yet. Not the Scorcher yet. Not the Slaughter Spine yet. Not the Thunderjaw. Alright. Some progress. Well, who should I talk to first?
That is violent. Great.
Let's see how Alva's getting along.
Aloy,
Right to work, I see.
there's just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor. Genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late CO. And there's more ancestors out there, returned from beyond the stars.
Yeah, they're kind of
Of
jerks.
course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great.
Yeah, that's
and
not good.
Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
you're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at Landfall.
Let's start with that.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning with the CO. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Farrow, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Farrow, revered ancestor. That's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Pharaoh spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important ancestors did. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an expedition across the ocean might solve our most pressing problems. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms that threatened our people. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into this endeavor. Dozens of ships were built, scouting missions were dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named CO, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire, the living embodiment of Ted Faro, a renewer. It may seem strange now, but for a time, he carried all of our hopes. We really believed he would save us. We had no idea just how perilous the journey would be.
Definitely found out more than you bargained for, right? That does explain a lot.
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ships to hurricanes, and scores of soldiers perished to hunger and disease. And that was before we even hit the coast. Once we landed, machines ripped our patrols apart, and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes and the greenhouse. But nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dashed. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and what lay behind its door. And more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere honorific. You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of a firing squad.
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. I can see that now. But what the CO became was a complete perversion of what principal diviners stand for. The pursuit of truth. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness. I'm just glad it's over. For everyone.
Well, if what Elva says is true, and the pursuit of truth is what the diviners seek, and what they stand for, then even when that truth conflicts with what they previously thought, they should be willing to accept it.
So, Bohai, your overseer, will he run things better than CEO?
He won't execute people on a whim, if that's what you mean. But he's hardly a paragon of integrity. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right.
Figures. I'm still curious how they came to have this twisted version of Ted Faro. I guess it has something to do with the clawback era, because Faro Industries was key to making the clawback possible. And he was the leader of Faro Industries, even though Elizabeth Sobek had a lot more to do with it than him. And how did they know what Elizabeth Sobek looked like? Still confused about that.
The ancestors, is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
Ah. So they don't know anything about the cataclysm that caused the end of the world. They don't know anything about Project Enduring Freedom or Zero Dawn. They only know about the time of the clawback when, Faro Industries was doing good.
You mentioned the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners. Peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, they were so proud. It brought honor to our family and increased rations. Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why? What happens there?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave or see anyone, not even your family. Unless you can get special permission and an escort by an overseer.
It sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are few in number, and the Empire is, well, fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to death along with everyone else.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't come to that.
It is concerning, though, because they left their home a little over a year ago. I'm starting to suspect, this is my new theory, that their empire is somewhere in Southeast Asia. Possibly Indonesia, but more likely Southeast Asia. That's my theory right now. I'll probably never get any confirmation about exactly where to the west they are. But anyway, I hope time hasn't run out already.
Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to seek out the truth in the legacy, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find something the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. But the Board of Overseers claims certain truths are detrimental to the stability of the Empire, like discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world. That is why Diviners are only allowed to access segments of the legacy. Only Overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and retrieved before it can spread.
What happens to Diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage to ask.
She just said earlier that the Diviners were dedicated to the pursuit of truth. But apparently, not if that truth does contradict their dogma. Unfortunate. Well, how do you get along with the others?
I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is, well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both genetically Elizabeth Sobek, but even so, you're different.
Yeah, we are.
I think Aloy's quite disappointed by that.
I hope everyone's been treating you okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. They've all been extremely welcoming. And they share the knowledge they learn on their focuses with each other freely. It's refreshing. Back home, Diviners can only share data with the permission from the Overseers.
Sounds restrictive and stifling.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
I see you've been using your new focus.
It's been fascinating. So much better than the version the Quen have. What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover, with this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up the process. This could revolutionize how Diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the Overseers would actually let us study.
I wonder, if Gaia could get control of Hephaestus, not only could she make machines, but maybe she could make more focuses. Enough for the whole world to have. But without Apollo, it's still limiting. Maybe we could get that from the Zeniths.
You mentioned Eric Visser? How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military tactics. Knowledge our rulers used to conquer and expand, to become the empire we are today. That's why he's one of our most revered ancestors. But based on your encounter with him, it appears he's even more ruthless than we ever imagined. Yet another distorted interpretation in the legacy.
Well, at least you're piecing together the truth.
If only the Overseers back home would do the same.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about them. Whatever legacy they left behind, the Diviners haven't recovered.
I did get a scrap of information about Verbena, at least. But she's dead now.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives such as this. And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. I would be remiss to ignore any truth laid before me. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way back to the path of truth.
I wonder if they can handle the truth. Okay, well, I have to talk to the others, but it was nice to hear from this fangirl.
I need to get going, but if you need anything...
All I need is to help you succeed in your mission. The plan Gaia told me about, to capture Hephaestus, it will help set things right.
I hope so.
Then I will do whatever I can. I promise.
It's something I wonder about. You know, once Gaia has control of Hephaestus, the derangement would effectively be over. So much of human society and all the different tribes, their culture revolves around machines and fighting them. And without the derangement, there's no more danger with that. So I'm not sure what that's going to mean to various societies.
The old ones called it the lungs of the planet.
That sounds lovely.
There she is. Heard you had an interesting time at Thebes.
Yeah, you could call
Maniacs, lava. What's not to like?
Dresses.
I'll remember that next time I go traveling.
At least I got what we needed to trap Hephaestus.
Good thing I got my gear ready then.
I don't remember exactly what the plan is and who was going where. But I think Aaron was coming with me to help carry Gaia. I think. And the others were going to other cauldrons to send false transmissions. I don't know. I'm not exactly clear on who's coming with Aloy and who's going other ways, but something like that.
You look tired.
Ha! You never want to hold back, are you? I've just been making sure that I got everything down for this mission of yours. I wouldn't want to be the usual screw-up out there.
You'll do fine, Erend. Have you spoken with Alva yet?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first ale. She took to that new focus quick, that's for sure. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous. But I can see why you two hit it off.
Well, she has been using a focus for a long time and had actual professional training. Just not as advanced a focus. So it's not surprising she would pick it up quick.
I should get going.
As soon as you want us heading out to those cauldrons.
I'll give you the heads up.
From the look on your face, I'd say the mission was a success.
I got Omega clearance. Is everyone ready to head out to Cauldron Gemini?
As soon as you give the word.
I see all of us settled in nicely.
Our new Quen friend? The moment she laid eyes on the archives, she jumped on them like a long leg.
Yeah, that's Alva for you. Once Gaia is back up and running, I expect you to put all your training to good use.
The seeds have been planted. All they need is a chance to bloom.
Sound like Zoe.
What? I thought that was pretty good. Zoe liked it.
I bet she did.
I'm glad you and Zoe found each other.
Don't forget, you're to blame for that.
Now that I have Omega clearance, we can grab Hephaestus and finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once.
I still wonder about Silence. He's still out there making his plans, and I don't know what he's been up to. I'm sure I'll find out eventually, and it won't be good.
I should go get this to Gaia.
Of course. Let us know when we're needed.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Have you met our new Quen guest yet?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all the data we had here, she turned so pale I thought she'd faint on the spot. We showed her to the archive room so she could see for herself. She hasn't left the place since.
Sounds like Alva. How are things with everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest obsession. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of performance. Called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and flesh, as Aaron likes to put it. You'd think we have enough of that going around as it is.
Huh. I haven't heard of that one.
Read anything interesting lately?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions like the Utaru do. Tea, they call it. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented wax they used to cleanse their aura. Plus something called bubble baths. I think I'll stick to singing to calm the nerves.
Don't knock it till you try it, girl.
I need to get going.
Right. You've retrieved the Omega clearance. That means we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. I'll make sure my gear's ready.
How's your arm coming?
Aloy, well met. We've been briefed on our mission, and are ready whenever you wish to head to Cauldron Gemini.
Were you able to finish the new arm Gaia was helping you with?
Indeed. I was hoping we could discuss it, if you have a moment.
Okay, what's to discuss?
How are your studies going?
I wanted to learn more about the world of the Old Ones.
And?
I looked up this pharaoh Gaia said you went looking for, and learned about the plague of machines he unleashed. To think that the ancient world was wiped out by a mistake. A single miscalculation. There is no glory or honor in such a fate. Only hubris and pointless death.
That about sums it up.
True.
Have you spoken with Alva?
The Quen is peculiar. Nothing like a Tenakth. Her mind is sharp, that much is certain. But it's hard to imagine her surviving in the wilds.
Trust me, she's tougher than she looks.
I will take your word for it.
How about that arm? You gonna test it by, like, beating up a machine with it?
You wanted to talk about your arm?
Indeed. It's time to test it. And I want you to be there.
Okay. How are we doing this?
Not how. Where? Will you meet me where we felled Regala's tremor tusk? Right where the river bends?
Sure, if you want, but I'm not sure I understand.
You'll see when we get there. I promise.
Then I'll let you know when I get close.
You have my thanks, Aloy.
That's some distance away, but I will get to that as soon as I can.
I have to go now.
Then do not let me keep you.
Like I said, I'll call you when I'm close to Regala's old outpost near the bulwark.
May the Ten guide your way.
I think I'd like to talk to Beta as well. I'd like to talk to Beta. Where is she? I thought she'd be through this door, which is closed. Well, I wanted to talk to Beta, but it looks like she's locked herself away.
Did you know there used to be a
Guess I'll have to talk later. There's some more drones data that I can install, but I don't have all of them yet. Still missing one.
Welcome back.
Okay, data module's in.
I don't know if I get anything for finding all of these, but I'm I'm not sure what the last one is. I'll have to scour the map at some point.
Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
You made me wear a dress!
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your subfunctions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
Shoot.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. 2 overrides. What if the merge were carried out by 2 clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of 2 operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
It's a little more reasonable.
Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Is she having a panic attack? I'm not sure I understand why it has to be Beta. I mean, why can't Elva do it for that matter? Why it has to be somebody with Elizabeth Sobek's genetic code? It doesn't make sense to me.
Wait. Where did that file go?
Well, let's see if we can talk to Beta.
Aloy.
What happened?
I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. Their slave. Forever.
If you don't go, you'll regret it. Forever. But I think it's time. Time for you to find the courage that Elizabeth Sobek had. That Aloy has. It's in you too.
The only way we can end the risk of that happening is by stopping the Zeniths for good. And in order to do that, we have to get Hephaestus. The Zeniths are a threat to everyone, Beta, not just you. So find your courage. That's easy for you to say. You still have no idea what they're capable of.
You have no idea what you're capable of.
I told you from the beginning, we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand! You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect? Beta. You don't have a defect. Beta. Look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having a strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. But it looks impossible. Look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You're right. I'll only be safe from them when we succeed. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
Aloy, whenever you're ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
I hope that Beta can find her confidence. What she did to escape from the Zeniths in the first place took incredible determination and courage, and it was brilliant. She also majorly set them back by taking the kernel of Gaia as well. It was brilliant. I don't know if she appreciates how impressive that is. She doesn't understand what she's capable of, but maybe someday she will. I hope it's soon.
Nothing. You just look good, that's all.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
I'm glad to hear it.
We've come to an understanding.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Catalo?
Ah, now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
Oh, it's good that you're getting along with him now.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So, no more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. They still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future. Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
I just don't expect you to die trying.
I should go.
That same here. I got a date with a cauldron to prepare for.
I expect you to succeed.
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny. You were right, you know, about keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back, because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
I remember the first game, Ross's final lesson for Aloy. That she needed to find something outside herself worth fighting for. To fight for others. He was thinking of the tribe, but I think she found something worth fighting for. Ross would be proud.
How does everyone seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Katalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator. And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said, just in case.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora. Spread what I've learned.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl.
I hope that doesn't mean you're going to leave Zoe behind.
What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will.
You know, the Nora have a certain way that you're not normally allowed to come and go from Nora lands as you please. I'm not sure what arrangement Varl made to allow him to not return to the Embrace, but once he returns, he may not be allowed to go out again. Aloy is a special exception in that regard.
I hope firing off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right. I'm glad you're coming with me, Varl.
Sure there's no urge to run off alone in there somewhere?
No more running. Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly a quiet conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
Man, Varl, whatever you do, you better not let this Zoe get away. She's a keeper.
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear Every word I read from her ancient past. It makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about. I should go.
As soon as you intend to leave for Gemini,
you'll hear about it.
Elva, is there something you needed?
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything all right? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help with.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
If you need anything before heading out to the cauldrons.
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice from Kotalo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. You'll even the odds soon.
Sometimes that's a good tactical strategy.
Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel, it's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night. Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
No, I think in this case, ignorance could kill you. I still have a theory that the Zeniths are not very many in number, at least the Zeniths that are here. That the ones we've seen are all that there are.
You mentioned there was something you needed help with?
Yes. So, as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created. It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So the legacy tells us, anyway. If we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. Would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, you're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
I should go. Make sure you talk to Gaia if you have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
And, like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
Aloy, are you well?
Had a bit of an issue with Beta. It's better now, though.
Ah, I'm not surprised.
Really? Why not?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that. Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best. I should go get ready.
I await your orders.
Well, there's a lot of conversing there with all the people on base. But I don't think I'm going to go talk to Gaia and set things in motion quite yet. Beta said that she needed all the time she could get to perfect things with that pulse generator. And Katala and Alva both wanted help with something. Especially Katala, I'd like to help him before starting on this mission because he could probably use a properly tested arm before I begin. But I think I've done enough for today. Even though a lot of it was just, you know, talking to people. Next time I'm going to go help out Katala and Alva and maybe a few other things out here in the world before we actually go to Gemini and start on the project to override Hephaestus and absorb him into Gaia. So we'll see how that goes next time when Amon chooses Horizon Forbidden West.